I am too.
Oh, you're live too.
Hi, we're both live. Hey, everybody, this is Matt, and we're at the undisclosed location, secret underground bunker for Texas Toast Guitars. And to my left, your right, is Dylan McCurchie, all the way from where in Georgia?
Augusta, Georgia.
Augusta, Georgia. And Chris may or may not be making he might be
An
stopping
appearance?
in. We don't are you planning on doing that, Chris?
Here.
He's not
He's
even
not even here.
Okay. So Chris,
And-
Chris is not coming in.
I'm still driving to the undisclosed location.
You know, no one can hear you. So
Okay.
I'm sorry.
And actually, I am on Dylan Talks Tone YouTube channel. We're doing the tandem thing again, like we normally do when I come out.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what does that mean? Obviously, so like after an hour, we're not going to do another hour where we talk about knives and pens and boots.
No. We're just gonna do an hour together.
Yeah.
I want to talk about some. You have some things that you want to talk about.
Uh-huh.
I have some things I want to talk about StuMac tools
Okay.
because we had some things come up this week.
Yeah, we really did, and
And
this
it
was
legit, like no joking around,
Mhm.
legit that I want to tell a story about.
Yep.
That you need to hear for all you cheapos that complain about how expensive StuMac is.
Or for people who are listening and wanting to get what do they call it? Confirmation bias. Like, did I do the right thing when I ordered
Yes.
from StuMac?
Yeah, I feel like I got ripped off. I'll tell you right now, you did not.
did not.
And
Yeah.
we're going to talk about why I have a real story.
And I am going to have a beer, which is something I don't normally do during these live streams very often anymore, but I'm going to do it now. So thanks for everyone who's hanging out with us.
I'm only doing it because you're doing it.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. Hey, would you like a piece of caffeinated Aviators chocolate?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. You could, yeah. Oh, you know what? Tim probably has that. What, Chris? Aviators chocolate? I don't know. Okay. All right. So everybody is here hanging out with us. And did you have one?
No.
Why not? They're not
I
big. They won't keep you up. I mean, it's, there's no like meth in it or anything. And yeah. It's not that kind of.
I was trying to decide how much I was going to trust you with food.
Yeah. No, it's yeah, it's good.
All right.
It's good. Anyway, so I have the name of my video tonight is something like 20 hard-hitting questions with Dylan McCurchie from Dylan Talks Tone. Something like that. You wanna do that?
Sure.
The first question wasn't, do you want a piece of Aviators chocolate? But it's still
down to 19. But it's
no. That's
okay.
Okay. So, and this is sometimes we do these, and this is like a speed round.
Okay.
But this is it's not a speed round because some of these might require some.
Typed?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't do this like 15 minutes ago. I did it like 25 minutes ago. So.
I thought you just had Joy do it, and she showed up with the list.
That would have made way more sense. That would have made way more sense. Okay, so 20 or 21 hard-hitting questions with Dylan McCurchie from Dylan Talks Tone. And then we're going to tell the story about the massive critter that got loose in the shop today.
Oh, yes.
All right.
Absolutely.
Okay. Are you ready, sir?
I am.
Are you ready at home? Follow along. You can tell me what your answers to these questions are, too, if you guys want.
Okay.
Okay, Dylan. Number one, Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
If bald people work in a restaurant, do they still need to wear a hairnet?
No.
That's a trick question because most bald guys who work in restaurants actually have beards, so they probably still do.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. What's the first thing you pick up when you wake up in the morning?
Whoa.
Why are you laughing, Brian?
Well, because
Dylan. Okay, so the reason for that question is Dylan is like a he's real into like everyday carry, super cool stuff like that. So like, do you reach for like your pocket knife or your phone or your glasses or your
typically my phone?
Okay,
phone. Yep.
Okay.
So that I can use it while I go to the bathroom. You have to have some.
Yeah. A little bit of phone time.
Yeah. Right away. Yep.
Okay. Let's see. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No.
Okay. What is the one guitar that got away? What's the one that you had and you had to sell, or you had to, or whatever, got stolen? What's the one guitar you wish you still had?
Actually, there's a Silver Sky that I wish I still owned.
The Paul Reed Smith?
Yeah, the mauve
knot
one,
strap
the
one?
pink, yeah, the knot strap Paul. Yep.
Well, what
the
happened
first
to it?
pink one? I sold it, and I shouldn't have sold it. So I bought another pink one, but it's not the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would you buy someone for their birthday?
I'm not really a birthday guy, but I will say somebody did buy me something last week.
Okay.
A good bottle of booze.
Okay.
So that might be on the
Always a
list.
good choice.
Yeah, that might be on the
Yeah.
list.
Unless you're buying for someone who is a recovering alcoholic.
True. Then it would be some nachos at their favorite Mexican place.
Okay. What guitar have you always wanted to build but haven't built yet?
Um a probably I have not personally built a junior.
Okay.
I would like
Really? That surprises me that you haven't done
I
that.
have not.
Okay. What, if any, are the unwritten rules at Dylan Pickups? In your company, what are the unwritten rules?
Um
Don't leave the seat up, whatever it is.
oh yeah. Don't cut an avocado with my good knife.
Okay.
um Definitely yeah, probably that. Keep the humidity at the correct level.
So it's a lot to do with humidity and avocados.
Yeah,
Okay.
well,
Yeah. I would never have guessed that.
yeah.
What is the most overrated guitar? Sub question, the most underrated guitar.
Two different answers.
Two different answers. Yeah, but same question.
Overrated,
Yeah.
obviously Harley Benton. Underrated.
Oh.
The Texas Toast Challenge.
Thank you. That's the only right answer. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Dylan, what would your ideal superpower be?
Well, I am Batman.
Okay.
So I don't need
That you could
I don't need superpowers. I just
Okay.
need money.
All right. All right. Steve Rockbox wants to know. Steve, I haven't gotten back to you. Okay. Steve, Joy asked me to send you an email today, but I told her I was going to. You're okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Dylan, what was your first concert?
REO Speedwagon.
Noise.
Yeah.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Would you rather win the lottery or have your dream job? Oh no, wait, I already asked you that. I said it's written out here. How do you feel about pineapple on pizza?
For it.
Okay. What is something that scares you in a good way? It can also be pineapple on pizza. But yeah.
Speed.
Okay.
Not
What?
the drug, the
Yeah. Whatever. Hey, but whatever. I don't judge.
kinetic
Um,
application.
what secret conspiracy would you like to start?
Start. I was
Uh-huh.
gonna say answer. Start. That tell everybody where this place is.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
What is the most ridiculous fact you know?
What the 70-30, what the
What the 73 finishes?
finishes.
Okay. All right. What is your cheat meal?
Cheat meal, ice cream.
What is something unusual that you like?
Watch my channel. People think everything I like is unusual.
Okay. What is something you think people don't do often enough?
Think before they say something.
Okay. And what is something that you do that is harder to do than most people think it is?
Not say something without thinking before.
All right. Okay. So that's all my show's done. I'm done.
All right.
Yeah, we're done.
All right.
Thank you for hanging out with us.
I think what we should do is definitely tell the story about the massive varmint.
Yes.
And then I want to get into this Stumac
Okay.
thing, because this is a really weak, super important thing.
So the shop is clean. The guys who are here for the workshop this week have done an excellent job.
I have been here enough times where I know under what pile of what tools to find what thing. I can't find anything. Everything is clean and I can't find anything.
Yeah. The guys here have done a great job. They if they make a mess, they clean it up. And so I started noticing this morning there was a bunch of dust falling from the intake grill of our heating system. And I'm like, boy, I know the filters are dirty. I know they need to be replaced. And Charlie said, maybe there's like a something up there. And I'm like, nah, it's just really dusty. and I walked back there. They were all in the wood. They were all in the workshop, and I walked through the wood shop, and I heard something, and I look up, and I see claws around the grate of the intake, and I'm like, oh, that's not good. So Brian and I, we don't have a ladder big enough to climb up. It's because it was a 12-foot ceiling.
Yeah, I think so.
It's like 35-foot ceiling. So so we pushed the table under the grate, and then I got a ladder and put it on top of the table, and then I climbed up on the table, and then climbed up on the ladder, breaking every OSHA rule that you can possibly break, and see this the biggest squirrel
Ever.
I've ever seen.
Ever.
How big would you say it
Oh,
was?
it,
I'd say
the
it was,
tail. Yeah,
I would say that no,
the tail.
yeah. So from there to here, yeah, that's how big it was. Yeah. And so I had Brian push up on the grate with a broom with like a bunch of extensions because it's so tall. It's what, like 75 feet to up there.
Yep.
And so I unscrew the thing and I climb down, and Dylan's like, you're filming.
Yeah, I filmed it.
Yeah, yeah.
We will upload it later. You will see it on my Facebook. We'll share it around.
And so then Brian like basically moved the broom that was 100 feet in the air dangling, and this monster fell out of the ceiling, and yeah.
Oh,
That's
man.
right. Yeah.
And then
Before the tail started. Yeah.
we had the door open. We thought it was going to run out the door, but it did not.
No.
It proceeded to run the entire perimeter of the shop. And by the time it was gone, there were tables and workbenches
Yep.
and tools everywhere.
And they still are everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
Glock 43X, Lefty.
That's what finally scared him out.
Oh no. Yeah, I want to know what automatic I had too.
Oh yeah, the Glock 43X. Yep.
So we finally got him out of here, and yeah.
I'll upload a video later, and we will definitely share that with you all so that you can see the I took video of it.
Yeah. And I don't think so. It waddled off down the street and is hopefully
Seems
come
fine.
back. Yeah.
Even after the 75-foot fall.
I know it
Um.
was one of them flying kind.
Oh, he's fine.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. The moose is still up there. Yeah.
Oh, he was big.
He'll be up there.
He was big.
Okay.
So I want to talk about this Stumac thing because I know that people that watch my channel, and I know the people that watch your channel. There are many of you who understand the value of a quality tool, and that's why we all like Mac. And but there are others who are like always, making some sort of excuse to, or finding a reason to, or maybe even having buyer's remorse about.
Yeah, it's not unheard of for people to say StuMac is overpriced.
Yeah, buying an expensive tool. I actually made a list of all the tools that I could think of this week that came from StuMac, and every time I picked one up to use it or watched someone else use it, I was like, you just don't have to think or worry about it.
Yeah, if you buy the best thing you can get, you'll never be disappointed with it. And everything that I've ever gotten from, I'm not suggesting that nobody else makes anything good,
right?
But universally, all the tools that I've ever gotten from Stuart McDonald, and by the way, I've had to pay for all of them. I don't get any free stuff from StuMac. I wish I did, but I don't. I've never been dissatisfied with something.
No.
So,
and you've spent a lot of money. I
take that back. There was one that I didn't like. That fret depth feeler gauge thing, because I'm not a fan of feeler gauges, but yeah.
Oh yeah, the thing, the clampy thing with the thing. Yeah, I didn't really like that thing either. Fret nippers, Z files, nut depth gauge, fret dressing files, fret rocker, the beam for sanding, the notch straight edge, the optivisors.
Yep.
And even how good the number 20 super glue is.
Even the number 20 super glue for frets is that's a game changer.
Right. All these things are just like, if we were helping folks who've never done it before, and we were, the tools were not something you had to worry about. It wasn't like, hey, okay, so you have to hold it this certain way because if you wiggle it this other way, it won't cut right. You never have to think about any of that kind of stuff.
And we have had tools that we bought because we needed a lot of, say, nut files. That's the one that I remember. There doesn't seem to be like you go from crap to something good. There's
Yes.
no, it's
Middle.
pretty good.
Yes.
And but we bought some Amazon nut files, and they all just stunk.
Yeah.
They were not good. And like they and I think it was like they just wouldn't, it's not that they wouldn't file straight, but the file point didn't come to the center.
Yeah.
It was off to the side, and you give them to somebody who had never used a nut file, and they would ruin the nut.
You having the skills to compensate for what was wrong with it,
Mhm.
could pull it off once or twice, but no consistency, and especially trying to do it for the first time. This is where I think people, well, when I get better at it, I'm going to buy better tools. The problem is that you're hurting your first experience and discouraging yourself from even learning more.
And we
by
bought
fighting the tools.
we bought half a dozen sets of them. We sent them all back, and we're like, let's just bite the bullet and buy all StewMac tools. So like the toolboxes that we have out for people to use in the workshops, there's probably $600 or $700 worth of StewMac tools in there.
Yeah. So the other thing is the warranty, which is what I want to talk about. Now, these guys use a lot of small hand tools, and you know, if you watch my channel, I have a few of the small hand tools. I don't have as many as you do because we do different things.
Well, yeah, you don't have half a dozen people coming in once a month.
Right.
Yeah.
So I have, one Z file, and I have one fretted dressing file, and I have a few things that cool gauge, the digitally gauge is pretty sweet. So I have a few things. But what I really have, I have pickup winders. I have 3 of them, and they're $600 a piece. Let's just not, beat around the bush around that.
May I ask you, did you basically start your company with that same pickup winder?
No.
No. Okay.
I had a guy out of North Carolina who doesn't do it anymore make my first one.
Okay.
And I went through a bunch of them. Like I had to have spare motors around because I would wear the motors out. And so I finally bought, it's a Mojo Tone winder, and this is what I want to get to. My first one I bought from Mojo Tone. My second one I bought from Mojo Tone. And my third one I bought from StewMac.
Okay.
And I bought it 2 years ago, next month. And I've been using it for the last 2 years on my workbench at home. It's been great. It's been my main winder. I have a spare winder that I keep here out at Texas Toast, and then I bring my main winder with me.
Yeah.
I showed up here on Monday, started winding pickups on Tuesday, plugged in my main winder. That's my newest one of the 3 that I own. Dead. No idea why.
Wah, wah.
Did not work. Fortunately, I had my backup winder that I have here.
And I have my winder,
winder.
that I have never even taken out of the box.
That's right. Chris
I
was
bet
saying
you-
that.
I bet you it works.
He was like, "Hey, if we need to return it, we'll just take ours out of the box and stick yours in there." And I was like, "Nah, we don't want to get it dirty." So it quit. So the only thing that annoys me is a company that doesn't have a phone number, and they don't. You have to do the little chat thing.
Oh, yeah.
So you do the little chat thing and say, "Hey, this is what's going on. The thing doesn't turn on, whatever." And I was genuinely concerned because it is a Mojo Tone product.
Yeah. And it's a power tool.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not like a file.
And it's not like they don't know who I am and what I do with it and how much I use it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a hobbyist.
Yeah.
Right? I use this thing every day. So I was a little worried that maybe because it wasn't their product, of course they're going to cover their fret nippers and stuff because it says StewMac right on it.
StewMac on it. Yeah.
I got an email back. I sent it yesterday afternoon. I got an email back this morning, and it said, you purchased it from us, lifetime unconditional warranty, put it back in a box. Here's an RMA. As soon as you put it in the box and we see the tracking number hit, we will send you a new one out to your shop.
That's pretty cool.
They're like $632 or whatever.
Wow.
And I would have hoped for maybe a repair, and then I got some spares, so maybe they send me another one at a later date. 100%, I'm like, sold. Like, no headache, no argument, no conversation. No, I don't have to stress about this.
So, and we say that a lot. If you buy one time with StewMac, buy once, cry once. You pay a little more for the good tool, because that's what you do. It doesn't matter if you're buying, you know, a Snap-on or whatever. And guys, don't flood the comment section with, I used to buy a Snap-on and blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
So just get the good stuff.
Mhm.
You will not be disappointed with it. And if it breaks for any reason, they'll be happy to send you another one.
And one of the things I think about, and you know, I know are worried about spending too much money on tools they'll never use,
Mm-hmm.
and stuff is expensive. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe you do have to be judicious about uh what is the most important to you when you buy tools. I get that.
Yeah.
But it's like playing guitar. If you have a crappy guitar, your fingers are going to hurt and you're never going to want to do it. If it's set up properly and your first experience with anything is a good experience, you're going to want to do it again. So don't shortchange the possibility of you working on your guitar by having crappy tools and not being able to accomplish, because of the tool,
Yeah.
what you want to accomplish.
What is it about guitar players that there seems to be, it's one of the few hobby disciplines, or it's one of the few passion projects that people have, where there is a subculture of users that are fascinated with the cheapest hunk of crap they can get.
You know, I don't know.
I don't either.
I don't understand it. That is, I am constantly amazed
Mhm.
by that phenomenon.
I like, for example, I know that, like, in the, like, let's say you wanted to buy like a flashlight to carry around with you.
Mhm.
I don't carry around Surefire flashlights because I can't afford a Surefire flashlight that I just, you know,
Right.
so I have Streamlight flashlights, and I have a bunch of them. I put one through the clothes washer one time. Came out, boom, popped right on. So yeah, is it as good as Surefire? I don't know, maybe not, but they've always worked for
I
me.
have a question though.
Yeah,
How much time do you spend posting on Facebook about how good yours is or how expensive and a
that's
waste
just
of
it.
money Surefires
This
are?
is the only time I've talked about why I,
The
or
cost differential between the two products?
that I carry whatever it is.
I'm an OLED guy.
Okay, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I carry a flashlight around with me very often because I use a flashlight all the time. Like, for example, when Brian and I are looking for squirrels, I wore jeans today, so I didn't have. I'm like, whoa, crap, where's my flashlight? Um, and uh, and I didn't have it. But like, yeah, I really like the little Streamlight stuff. It's always been really good to me. So
Yeah.
I keep using it. And is it? Does somebody make a better one? Maybe, but
Probably.
this one works fine for me. And I would never begrudge someone for saying, well, I wouldn't carry that. I only carry the best. Awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't try to talk them out of it.
One of the things I think I when Chris says it all the time, talks about player experience,
Uh-huh.
like that's what really matters. And I've been thinking about that a lot with all this guitar stuff and talking about the tool thing. Again, it's like I feel like, you know, there's 4 folks here this week who've never uh done a fret job from a bare neck to polished, beautiful
Maybe
frets
not. Yeah.
from one end to the other. And they never once had to blame a tool. They never once had to, well, none of them failed. They all look
They all look
fantastic.
terrific. Yep.
They all look really fantastic.
Mhm.
And they were able to just not even think about and just concern themselves with the experience.
Yeah, the tool
Mhm.
didn't let anybody down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And tool was easy. A few of them were like, with the fret crowning file, the Z file, they were like, oh, I thought I was gonna have to do this way more times. And it was like 3 or 4 times and boom, it's done.
Boom, it's
Like,
done. Yep.
you know, so it just, I don't know, I just think that's really important.
Well, yeah. And for all the grief that I get for drinking Coors Light or whatever lousy coffee someone says I drink, man, there's a lot of hate for expensive tools from Stu Mac. So yeah, I guess I use inexpensive flashlights and drink inexpensive beer. But my tools from Stu Mac, I will not compromise. In a world of compromise, some don't.
The only reason I'm drinking Odyssey and not Coors,
Yeah.
one of the only reasons, but I'll say for the sake of this conversation,
Uh-huh.
the only reason is because Chris from Odyssey Beer Works brought these over last night, and I just don't want him to feel unappreciated.
I know.
on
I
Thursday.
want Chris to feel unappreciated. No,
So, I just
I
really,
can't. I don't drink very much anymore, so I can't drink Odyssey beer. A fairly high test for me. So
yeah.
So do you have any questions on your
Let's
your
see.
page there, Dylan?
Ball peen or claw?
Ball peen or claw?
I'm gonna go claw. Let's see.
Sean Emenheiser asks, speaking of good stuff, single pickup shredder, which Dylan pickup do I buy? So I think
8-ball or Super 8.
what's your version of the ceramic magnet slightly overwound?
Our 8-ball.
8-ball.
Yep. That's the dude.
That's the everything I liked in high school tone.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep, that's
yeah.
the one.
So Sean, yeah, if you want the Ace Frehley or the any of the Aerosmith stuff, yeah, that was cool. That's the pickup that you want.
Yep.
CC playing.
CC DeVille. I don't know what CC DeVille had in his various
in his heyday.
his guitar arsenal. Probably anything he wanted. Might have been, yeah, they might have been.
It was probably black. Probably out of Floyd.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you what his main guitar was, but I can tell you that if I could only have one pickup, it would positively be a ceramic magnet, overwound from PAF standards, but ceramic magnet. And can you do them in double cream, or would Larry get mad at
He would get mad at me. Yeah.
What if I ordered it with a cover on it and I took the cover off?
Yeah,
okay, yeah, all right, okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Right now, it looks like CC DeVille is playing a V.
Is he playing the GMP guitar still? And I don't know.
Let's see. Yep, a GMP V. Yep.
Don't ask me how I knew that. I just did.
And an ESP Les Paul copy and a Strat N2.
Okay.
A Washburn N2.
Okay.
Which is that's like a Nuno Betancourt-ish sort of thing.
I still think that CC DeVille is one of the most underrated players of all time. I think he's great. I love to say that. Yeah. Not everybody likes him, but yeah, I do. And you know what? Most of the people who say they don't, they're full of crap.
They don't know.
They don't know. Yeah. They wish they could play. They wish they could play like CC DeVille.
I wanted to take part in this class this year. It was my birthday week, but I just couldn't swing it. Maybe next year for my 60th.
Who's that?
Larry Fouch.
Happy birthday, Larry. Sorry you couldn't.
Larry, tomorrow, we're gonna have a guitar here. We did put together a guitar. We're in the process of putting together a guitar that it will be available, and it's very cool.
Why do we do that, do you think, Dylan? Why do we always make a guitar?
Well, there's a couple things. One, because as we're going, we like to make sure that Chris's skills are still on point.
Oh, that's not true.
No, that's not true. No, it's not a do as I say, not as I do class.
Yeah.
It's a, show everything. And then the other thing is you don't build tellies and strats and
not very often.
And so this is a very special time to get a very special guitar that you don't normally build.
Yeah.
And it is very cool.
We like to have something to show people. One of the things that happens oftentimes is when you're at a workshop or a class or something, is the instructor will take yours and do it, and then now do everything that I did on Dylan's guitar. Well, then that means you don't get to do that thing, And it's not the same. You don't take the same guy's neck or the same guy's body every time, and he does nothing. But I like to make sure that everybody has a chance to do everything. Doc sent us some Canadian money of the pin router question. Oh, this is probably for you, Dylan, because I don't know very much about the pin router.
I made a video about it the other day, so I'm a total authority.
Okay. Pin router question. I've noticed my jet will sometimes drop to a slightly different depth when engaging the plunger, even though no changes have been made to the wheel or 1 to 6 presets. Any idea what the issue might be? It's probably that hydraulic stopper piece, Doc. Those jet pin routers are easily 35 or 40 years old. I don't know what vintage yours is, and I would bet you that that hydraulic stopper is dead. You can also have a problem sometimes with if your air isn't if you got a leak in your airline somewhere in the mechanism, that can be something that all of a sudden you get less air or more air. Sometimes if you are if your air is turned off, you can it'll just lower itself. It won't. Yeah, so you always have to have the air line hooked up.
Maybe he's having a pressure differential or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it works, but there's it. One of the things that was the hard on the original jet pin router, there are still a handful of hoses that probably need to be replaced. They're still original. I think there's one or two in there that are still the old ones. But just getting to those is a real trick. You got to pull the whole machine apart. Frankly, ours probably needs to be complete disassemble and clean, complete disassemble and replace airlines. And but I'm suspecting that you either have an air leak somewhere, or you have the hydraulic stopping mechanism is has a leak in it, or is just kind of took a dump.
The stops on that can come loose too and vibrate.
The bolts.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm assuming you've so Chris says your stops can come loose. I'm assuming you've checked those, but if you haven't, that'd be another good
because
thing.
that's more or less just like a double nutted bolt in there.
Yeah,
right?
that's
Yeah.
Probably the hydraulic stopper though.
That's what I'm guessing.
I
Yeah.
think you can actually rebuild them.
So basically, bring the hydraulic stopper. Chris says he can rebuild it for you. He'd be happy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other guitar build questions?
Let's see what we have going on. Brian Duncan's he's right. I'm looking at Brian Duncan. Hi, Brian. Loring says that he can't wait for the reveal tomorrow, and he wants to know who's going next week. So well, Brian Duncan is going to be here with us again. Obviously Chris and myself. Rob Taylor is going to be here. I can't remember off the top of my head who else is going to be here. We'll find out on Monday.
Yeah.
But so next week is the classic woodworking workshop, which is the second to last one of those that we're going to do ever. And so people have asked me about that. Well, how come you're not going to do more classic woodworking ones? And the reason is I don't want to do workshops where people leave without a complete guitar anymore. I like to do the woodworking one. It's fun. It's a lot of work because you just start. Here's your pile of stuff. Loring knows he was here. But at the end of it all, people can't they can't play it when they're done. So they walk out with something that needs to be finished and assembled and set up. So finished, you could wipe oil on it and you could go, okay, done. It's got a finish on it.
Somebody named Miserable Turd just became a YouTube member on our channel. Thank you.
Nice. Way to go, Miserable Turd. So you could put an oil finish on a guitar and have it look cool and be good. And then you'd have to like put all the stuff on it and level and dress the frets and all that. In 5 days, we just don't have time to start with raw wood and do any more than what we have time to do. Even with the 2-day paint extension, you still have I don't know, 2, 3, 8 hours of assembly and setup time. So I really want people to not go home with a piece of something that could turn into a guitar or turn into firewood. I want them to walk out here with something really neat. And I realize that a lot of the guys who came and did it and they're having a good time with it. But I don't want to have that be I don't want to have someone walk out here with a non-completed guitar again. What do you got?
Miserable Turd just gave us a super chat and asked if you got a free bowl of soup with that hat.
Oh, you know what? That guy is a miserable turd.
Somebody asked on my channel here, how much longer does it take to build a hollow body versus a solid body? And for those of you that don't normally watch Matt's channel, A, I don't know why you don't, you should. And B, if you have questions for actual guitar builders, now might be the time to ask.
Well, okay, there are lots of different kinds of hollow bodies. And some of them require specialty tools. So, for example, if you're talking about a guitar that has acoustic construction with bent sides, that takes more time than starting with a block of wood and taking a bunch out, scooping a bunch out the middle, and then putting a top on it.
So, for example, this guitar right here.
This guitar right here has a bunch of wood removed and has a top on it. So the back and sides, it's got a cavity on this side, a cavity on this side, and a cavity back here, and then a top on it. This takes versus a solid body guitar. This guitar you probably have to add another
20%.
Well, no, I would say if you're doing this on a pin router or CNC, you could tack on, depending on what tools you have, you could tack on anywhere from an extra 10 or 20 minutes to an extra 3 or 4 hours.
Okay.
You know, if you start bending sides, that's that's an amount of that you probably have a day's worth of bending and drying, and then a day's worth of gluing on kerf lining and gluing on a neck block and gluing on a heel block, and then another handful of hours gluing the top and the back on. But I think what people really mean when they say hollow body these days is arched top, bent side, 335 style guitar, or Gretsch. What is it? The 7, or what is the Gretsch?
6120.
6120. In order to do that, I got somebody commented on a video that where we did that Stuart McDonald 335 style kit, and they're like, all that work for a plywood guitar, and then they had a lot of like laughy emoji things on it. All those guitars are plywood.
Oh,
And they've been plywood for, I think, for forever. I think I have had some experience with solid top Gretsch arch tops, but for the most part, all those guitars are plywood, and they're thin veneers, and they're glued, and they're pressed in like a great big stamp that has a positive and a negative image. You mash some wood in there and glue it up. Same with the sides. They're not bent as much as they're just super, super flexible pieces of wood that get glued to other super flexible pieces of wood in a mold, and they put it all together. It's not easy, but to do that, like a lot of people think, why don't you make why isn't the Icon a carved top? Well, because the Icon's a solid top guitar and it's a solid back guitar. There's no plywood on those guitars.
right.
So that's the reason. If I made those carved tops and they were solid, that'd be considerably more than $24.99 for me to hand make that. Could you make it on a CNC? Yeah. Could you make it on my CNC? No. Could I pay Steve to make it? Maybe. But yeah, for the most part, I really like solid top and back guitars. I don't like plywood guitars so much. So I don't think there's anything wrong with them, but as a guitar builder, that's just not something that I want to do. We could jig up to do it, I'm sure, but you don't want to pay for it. What's that? SOB. All right, let's see. We got a question here from, will you be offering the pin extension for the last 2 classes? I believe we are. Yeah. Is that true, Chris? Chris is like, yeah. It's an extra 2 days, but yeah, I think we are going to be offering that. So yeah. The one in June is full, and the one in next week, Monday, has I get you could still get into it. I think there might be 1 or 2 spaces available. I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the building the hollow guitar takes a lot more time. And you have to have special, you don't have to special. it pays to have some specialty equipment to, like, for example, if you're gluing a carved top onto a hollowed out chunk of mahogany, the way that we do it is we carve the tops first and then we glue them on. Now, you can imagine, how do you glue a carved top onto a flat back? So we have a handful of things that we do to do that. Doc, no, Rod did not get his Firebird yet because I haven't built it yet. So, yeah. What else do we got? You got anything happening on your side there?
Not so much.
Anyone like wants to make fun of my my threads?
No,
Ooh, that's tacky.
not so much.
Yeah, yeah. You know what though? That Caddyshack movie's a good movie.
It is.
That is good. Yeah,
It's classic.
Who do you like better, Rodney Dangerfield or Don Rickles?
Sure, man.
Don Rickles.
I know. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to come down on the Don Rickles side too. And you know what? It's all because of Kelly's Heroes. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. I just feel like Don Rickles is like true OG.
He absolutely is.
You know. Yeah. Yeah. Somebody mentioned the reveal tomorrow.
Yes.
I'm gonna go live on my channel for the reveal tomorrow because I want people to see what these folks did.
I think what we're gonna do for the reveal tomorrow is pull these guys down and put the guitars that the guys made up on the wall so that they can just be here and they can come. When do you think we're gonna be able to do the reveal earlier tomorrow, Chris? Or Chris is like, I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
You're gonna
The
deep
minute
dive.
he says that, it's gonna get a jinx somehow. So
Well, I think the guys want to deep dive into setup and get them just right.
I think
So
we should just plan on 5.
5 o'clock.
no commentators curse happening here today.
All right.
For a neck, do you fret before you shape or the opposite? Ooh, that is a loaded question because you do it a couple different ways.
What was the question again?
Do you fret a neck before you shape it or the opposite?
I fret necks before I shape them because, and I've gotten a lot of grief for this. First, I'm going to tell you why I fret them before I shape them, and the reason is because I like to keep everything flat and straight as long as I possibly can. So when I'm making a neck, I will show you. When I am making a neck, in this case for the American Icon, as you can see, it is not shaped yet, but it is in fact fretted. So I have a flat surface down here to put in my fret press call that I can press my frets in and get them exactly perfectly right. So in this case, I did the fret slots, I did the inlay, I radiused the fretboard, I pressed the frets in, I put the binding on, and I did all the binding work. So there's little cute little nubs on the side. The only thing I haven't done yet is side dots, and I'd like to keep it flat for side dots too.
Just makes it easier because you
It
don't have
just-
to hold it.
Yeah.
It can just sit the way you want it to sit.
So we glue all of our frets in. They're good to go. And the reason that that's why I like to shape or press frets in prior to shaping. Now, the reason that I get grief for this is because Paul Reed Smith did a video where he says you definitely don't want to move. Every time you start removing lumber from the neck, it's going to move the neck around. And so people have told me, you have to do that. And I know for a fact, I could like find the video in just a few minutes. And guys who've never shaped a neck before will tell me, you've got to do this. And the only reason they say I've got to do it like that is because they saw a video where Paul Reed Smith said that's the way he did it. Now, I'm not suggesting that I'm right and Paul Reed Smith is wrong. What I am suggesting is that I don't live in Maryland, where the humidity level is whatever it is there. I live in Colorado. What's the humidity here now?
12.
12. I mean, it's really, yeah, it's very, very low humidity here. So where I live, I don't have an issue with the neck moving around after fretting or after shaping so much that I have to worry about it. Does Paul Reed Smith have that issue? Maybe. I don't know.
8%.
28%. Okay, yeah. So what now? What do you suppose the humidity level is in wherever Maryland Paul Reed Smith is?
4,000.
Probably 4,000.
It's super high compared to where we are here. So some of the things that that affect Paul Reed Smith don't necessarily affect me, and vice versa. Paul Reed Smith has probably forgotten more about building guitars in the last 10 minutes than I will ever know. But he doesn't live in Colorado. So I like to do this the way I like to do it. And God bless Paul Reed Smith. How about that? So yeah. So I'm not smarter than him. He is smarter than me, but I do this the way I do it, and we don't have any issues.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
You don't know why I constantly have to if somebody says Paul Reed Smith does this, and you should, why am I forced to do that exactly the same way? I don't get that.
I get that a lot with pickup stuff. Like, well, this is the way Gibson does it. This is the way DiMarzio does it. This is the way Fender does it. And I'm like, yeah,
cool.
I mean, I guess if you do something the way somebody else does it, then I don't do it that way because I just buy one of theirs.
But
People like, if I don't make a certain pickup because I don't want to,
can you
and
tell
somebody else makes a good one, I'll just buy theirs. It's okay.
Well, how many Charlie Christian pickups are you planning on making this year? Yeah.
None.
So why is it that we have to be second-class citizens because we don't do every single thing exactly the way some guy who's popular made a video to do it, did it, and some guy who's never done it before watched the video and now is an expert?
I have thought about this a lot, and I used to be annoyed by it. But what I think is that things happened at a particular time in history when things were technology really hasn't done much older than 50 years. In the last 50 years, it's gone much more quickly than the previous 300, right? So what that means, people forget that the Stratocaster is only 70 years old, right? So that's less than a person, right? One person. And so when the electric guitar basically became popular, Leo Fender did not invent it, but he did make it popular by the manufacturing processes and stuff that he used. And Gibson became a company, and all these people became companies in various moments in time where music was first being electrified, where rock and roll was invented, where all these things were, right? And now you and I are doing things in an already developed time frame where we're just kind of being picked up by the stream of what's going on. We were not at that formative time. So there's a particular formative time where everybody says, okay, well, then this is what it needs to be. Somebody can be just as groundbreaking in 2024, but because it did not happen at that snapshot in time, it's never looked at the same way.
Remember last week we talked about, I don't know if you watched any of it, like the notion that what would everyone's perception of Paul Reed Smith be in 1985 if the internet was a thing?
Yes.
I mean, there wouldn't be that. It just wouldn't have lessened the guitar any at all. But what would people have said back then? Because I was alive then, you were alive then. It was a very different time for guitars.
Yes.
What would people have said? And who knows?
I don't know.
You got a super chat.
I got a super chat. I got two of them. Doc said, "Hey Dylan, did you wind the Charlie Christian pickup in my American Icon?" I don't know.
No,
I wound one. But I don't know where that one went.
Bobby Dale has that.
Bobby Dale has that one.
Yep.
Okay.
Pete Biltoff wound that one, Doc.
Yeah. And then we got another super chat from Joey Dano Doug.
Hey, Doug.
8 class builds in my collection and not one twisted neck, all fretted first.
There you go. So
look at that.
There you have it.
I mean,
that tells the tale right there. Now,
it does. Thank you for the super chats, y'all.
And I'm not suggesting that that's going to work every time, or if where you live the humidity is different, but if you start with good material and you let it dry properly.
We missed one.
We missed a super chat.
We did.
You won't be disappointed.
From Miserable Turd.
Okay, is it more about my hat?
No,
All right.
it's a great question.
Okay.
Will those guitars pass the McKnight deep dive test? Absolutely.
Yeah, every single one of our guitars that we let out the door in the workshops, I would let Phil McKnight play any one of those, and he can
Yep.
give him the.
And anything you build for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, was he talking about my guitars?
yeah,
Or, oh,
yeah,
okay, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. For sure.
So actually,
He has
Phil McKnight has two. One of them was a maple top level 2, and one is a silver level 1. I'm going to let the cat out of the bag a little bit. The silver level 1 is going to be given away.
Oh, cool.
We are going to be giving that one away. That one is a loaded package.
Oh, that's the I did a
Level
video
one.
on that guitar.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a cool guitar.
Yep.
Yeah. That inspired me to buy my own level 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Which was an awesome one too.
Mhm.
But yeah, there are no guitars that walk out that door that wouldn't pass Phil McKnight's what do you call
Nylon
it?
test or whatever.
Yeah,
the deep dive, whatever. Yeah.
yeah.
Whenever he puts the special hat on and does the stuff. Yeah.
Special hat.
Yeah, he's got the special hat, but when he puts a different hat on and he
Is it?
gets all
It's
technical.
not okay. I thought you were like
Say special.
tinfoil hat or
No,
something. Phil McKnight.
no,
So
that's the comment section.
yes, that's right. Phil McKnight has been a friend to Texas Toast for when he need not be, and we love Phil McKnight. So
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, those are cool. Cool questions. People are superstitious. It's true. If you don't follow the ritual, then they're not sure, Yeah, it makes sense.
I'm not suggesting there's no genuflecting to the material or to the offering up sacrifices to Leo Fender and Ted McCarty.
Yeah, I don't know what you do in your alone time.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not
Where do you think that
for-
chocolate comes from?
Yeah, sure. Okay, I got you.
This is it's a spiritual.
So what's the
Candy.
price on them? If you go to texastoastguitars.com, there is a link in the description. You can see the prices on these guitars and I think some others that are available right now. And you can actually order with drop-downy boxes your own color and your own this and that. And you can have my pickups put in them. Actually, most of these guitars
That's a rule. Every guitar we build has Dylan pickups.
Yeah, pretty much.
Unless somebody says, I want
Somebody else.
I don't know,
Yeah.
bare knuckles or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like perfectly tempered.
It's really good. It's got a smoky kind of thing to it.
It's a little, yeah.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
it.
That's
Good.
that's the amphetamines.
Oh, okay.
That's the German.
Yeah.
That's the
You
German
can
part of it.
taste the Deutschland.
Ah.
So it's got caffeine in it. Yeah. But we will be selling the guitar that Chris and Dylan and I built tomorrow. I'm hoping that the guys who are here for the workshop aren't going to sell their guitars tomorrow. Charlie says no. Rick says no. Grant's like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe if the price is right. Yeah, that's right. Money talks. So, well, how much more time? What do we need to vamp a little
7
bit?
minutes.
Do we need to get Chris Fesker in here?
One of the things I do want to say is we are going to have a Patreon live hangout next Monday night on my channel for a Patreon, Patreon and YouTube members that are part of that deal. We moved it from this week because I wasn't there. And I'm going to put another video out tomorrow. I'm going to edit it tonight. I'm trying to kind of keep up on some of the processes that we've been doing. For those of you that couldn't come to this class, to give you a little bit of experience of what happens here. And to kind of show you how much Matt yells at people and such. And Chris is in on the action. Also,
Seal Beach Mike wants to know, has an Icon with a Filtertron been built yet? As a matter of fact, Mike, it has, and Doc has it.
Yeah, sit closer to him. So I'd like to thank y'all for stopping by. I really like this position. This seems to be working.
You're sort of like
I have
Johnny Carson.
I have this cool camera where we can just kind of.
Yeah.
There we go.
Did you see the question there? Oh, you didn't.
Yeah, for the icon with the Filtertron. Oh, with a Filtertron. No, not a Filtertron. Okay. Has an icon with a Filtertron been built yet? No, it has not.
There's talk of doing that.
Well, yeah, no, but yours is gonna be a humbucker size
Filtertron.
cavity. With
Yeah,
a
we're gonna
Filtertron.
we're gonna do something special for one coming up. And let's just say stay tuned on the Filtertron.
I got my Filtertron and my Charlie Christian mixed up. Hey, but Mike has that
Hobbies.
Challenger level 2 style carb top with the mahogany neck and the Charlie Christian in it.
Yep.
And it is like super, super cool. If that's not his favorite guitar, I don't know. I don't know why. Because yeah, that thing is really, really excellent. Hi, Chris.
He's here.
So much better.
But yeah, I mean, we absolutely could do one with like a TV Jones, or we could do one with the Dylan. Oh wait, I spilled the beans.
Yeah, you spilled the
Sorry.
beans. Yeah, there may or may not be.
Well, Mike says he hasn't showered since he got that guitar.
We'll just have to.
He doesn't want to get. He doesn't want to
I
get.
haven't showered since I got my Texas Tool guitar.
I know.
Hey, when is Mike Beckloff is getting one of the only level 4 with a Charlie Christian in it. When do we have all the stuff for that?
Yeah, I think that's on the short list of stuff that's going to get built.
It's
after
been
classes.
Has it been all the way painted, or
it's all the way painted? I think I
Ooh.
even did the frets on it, so it's
Ooh.
literally like parts away from being done.
Do you think that Mike Beckloff is going to wait until August to just drive out and get it?
No,
I don't think so either.
I wouldn't.
Do you think he's going to require us to get in the car and deliver it to him?
Where does he live?
Kansas.
Oh yeah, we could.
In Kansas, the state of Kansas, though.
Well, but yeah, we could go.
We could hang out with Shellooe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go see Shellooe. We can make it a whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got quite the tribe in Kansas City now.
We do. Yeah.
we
We
do.
have a bunch of other guys that we know too.
Lil Bobby D, the Beckloffs.
Yeah. Steve Giancrico,
Who?
the soda pop guy.
Oh yeah. He's like, do it. Come on, man. Road trip. Okay. Yeah. All right. So that'd be a fun one to do. Yeah. That would be a
Steve
fun
was the one that I said,
to
"Oh
do.
yeah, which Kansas City do you live in? The Missouri or the Kansas City?"
Missouri or
one?" He's
Kansas?
like,
Yeah.
nobody lives in Kansas.
Oh.
And then the next class, I asked the same question. They're like, "Well, Kansas, okay."
Lefty says a Charlie Christian and a Telly with a quarter pounder would be interesting. The one of the problems with the cool pickups that get shoehorned into Telly necks is they seldom match the cool pickups that get put in the bridge to go with them. So like one of the classic ones is a Filtertron in the neck and a something in the bridge. Every time you get the Filtertron to sound right, the bridge pickup sounds way too bright, and then if you get the neck or the bridge pickup to sound right, the Filtertron just turns to mud.
Yeah.
In my experience.
Was it Danny Gatton that had a telly with a Charlie Christian in it?
Did it?
I think for a Red Hot Minute anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, and then he ended up with blade pickups.
So no, but what I mean is
that was a thing for a while. I had a neighbor, and he brought over a classic telly body. It was like a late 50s or early 60s, and it was all cut up for a Charlie Christian.
But imagine a Charlie Christian pickup in the neck and a quarter pounder in the bridge. A quarter pounder bridge, telly bridge pickup is a monster.
It's way too much pickup.
It makes humbucker guys run and hide. It is a beast. So I'm not 100% sure you would need. I think you would need independent controls for each thing to make that one work.
Yeah.
Or at the very, very least, the coil tapped version of the quarter pounder that you can use with but even then, that's a lot of pickup to go with.
It is. Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that we're done here.
I think we are done.
What do you got there?
I'm good.
Okay.
No, this is good. I appreciate everybody watching. I know that it's a little different when we're out here, and some people don't like it nobody likes it when Leslie's not here.
No one likes it when Leslie's not here.
I
I know, especially you.
Drink twice as much tequila.
I had to drink twice as much tequila. She actually told me to drink. She called me yesterday, and she said, when Brian gets out the tequila, make sure you have one.
Just
I'm not there.
Yep.
So
yeah, there will be a big reveal tomorrow, you guys.
Yep.
I hope that we'll hope to see you there for that. And let's call it a night.
All right.
All right, gang. Have a good one, and we'll see you tomorrow.